Hey, welcome to Tuned In, I guess, sort of, where I review cartoons and discuss cartoons and stuff like that. No matter how new, no matter how old, no matter the cost. I guess this is a bunch of little tiny reviews today. Because with the whole trouble outside of various types, and stuff that's come up with work and things like that, I have wound up with a lot of time to look at animated series I haven't yet. And so I'm just going to talk about a bunch of ones that are currently going, some of which are in their second season, maybe even third. But if I hadn't seen them, they're new to me. So, I'm just going to talk about a few of them, how I feel about them real quick. Just a bunch of tiny reviews. Snippets. One I've already covered is The Owl House. I like what I'm seeing so far. New episodes are going to be starting next week, from what I heard. And that's good because I really like The Owl House. Looking forward to that. New episodes of some other stuff too. Amphibia. Yeah, that's on my list. I've started to see Amphibia. I really like it. I look forward to where they're going forward with that. Amphibia. I talked about the Owl House. I didn't get into Amphibia, so I'm going to explain that one. It's, for the most part, a story of a girl named Anne who wound up in this, along with her two other friends who have gone missing once. Hold on. With her two other friends, they wound up in a fantasy world inhabited by amphibians. Frogs, toads, newts, all of those little critters. Anthropomorphized those creatures. The friends got separated when this happened. And at least for all of season 1, for the most part, Anne has been living in this village of frogs, where we met the other main characters. We only recently have met up with Sasha, who had been with the militaristic toads. And we don't know about the last friend quite yet. But these new episodes should probably tell you where she went. But I really like it. It's got the whimsy of a fantasy world. It's got starting to bring in the dangers of the various fantasy elements. And there's comedy. It's like, I dig it. And I guess it's worth a watch, certainly. At least give it a shot. See if it's for you. Speaking of fantasy worlds, Craig of the Creek has grabbed my attention a little bit. It's basically a bunch of people playing dress up in the woods. It follows Craig and his friends who live in but they go to the creek like every day. The creek is this huge wooded area near a city, and a bunch of kids go there. And there are various groups, but each one of them is enwrapped in this fantasy based around their little thing. It just kind of cinches together in this imagination adventures that they have. It's like around a small waterfall. We have the Ninja Clan. Kelsey, one of Craig's friends, is an aspiring fantasy novelist. She also carries around a PVC pipe that she uses as a sword. She has a parakeet that she uses as an animal companion, her mighty falcon. She narrates herself as if she's the character in her own novel. It's fun. The Creek Elders are just a bunch of teenage nerds hanging out in their place they've dug out under a rock. It's like where they play Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, all that sort of stuff. And then they're the Creek Elders. They're the wise men. They know everything. That's hilarious. I'm digging Crack of the Creek, and they combine that with the slice of life, everyday suburban thing, drama, whatever. But they do it, and they do it in such a masterful way. Yeah. There's one episode of Craig of the Creek that they use the old game Jinx. You know, you say the same thing, you go Jinx, and then you can't talk until the conditions are met to break the Jinx. Well, they played that like there's this one girl so good at knowing what people are going to say, and they cast her as like this witch bestowing curses. And it was fantastic. But yeah, it's like, I enjoy Craig of the Creek a lot. Moving on to Big City Greens. I think, in a way, Big City Greens is this generation's Beverly Hillbillies. And like Beverly Hillbillies, they do it right. Just because the Greens are country and rural does not mean they are stupid or simple. They basically a family of farmers, for one reason or another, moves out of their original farm and into the big city to live with a grandparent that had already moved there or had lived there for a while and the big city built around her. That's entirely possible considering the condition of her home. But yeah, it's very much like Beverly Hillbillies because they have their own ways that do not necessarily mesh with city life, but are not wrong. And you got the wacky antics there. You have of course, most of this is a slice of life thing, but it's still, it's very entertaining to me. I kind of like Big City Greens. The last new show for me that I've recently checked out was Mau Mau, Warriors of True Heart. I've watched this one a little bit less than the others, but I still really dig it. Fantasy world, everyone are animals or a combination of animals. And the warrior Mau Mau, who kind of goes over the top in trying to be this incredible, awesome warrior guy, winds up becoming the guardian of basically a Care Bears-like village, and the crystal heart that he accidentally damaged and which lowered the shield so things can actually attack them, which is why they need a guardian now, and so he's honor bound to do so. Meanwhile, he has his assistant Badger Clops, who's a badger with one eye, so he has an eye patch, which is why he's Badger Clops. A little cyborg arm, and a inspiring young cute bat character from the Cushy village who admires Mau Mau and is now trying to train under him to become a hero. It's funny, it's full of enough action to keep me entertained. It's a real special show. And they even had a moment at one point where Mau Mau's father shows up, and he's even more of an awesome warrior than Mau Mau is. and funny moments there. But yeah, I really, these shows show a lot of promise. Let me know that pretty much the state of animation is alive and well. Writing's pretty good. And I look forward to seeing what these shows do in the future, as well as what's to come with new series. I actually have some hope that we'll get some more good ones pretty soon, because of course, production is stalled all across the board because of troubles. But when we get back on track, I look forward to seeing what we got in store. And in the meantime, I've got these shows to look forward to, just watch and enjoy more of. And I can't recommend these shows enough. So I hope you check them out. Hope you enjoy them. Or at least see if they're for you. And until next time, this was Josh the Fox Mills, and telling you to stay tuned.